mix. All right, we are ready to mix our alginate to start casting these teeth. We're going to do the same basic technique as we did for the zombie teeth. We're going to make sure the teeth fit into our mold. This is a mold that I use just for doing this. I don't use this for people anymore. This is strictly for making teeth. So I rock my fingers. My thumb and my middle finger are attached to it, and I just make sure that it fits in the mold just like that. And that's what I'm going to do. So my teeth are Vaselined. I put 1 scoop already in here. I probably don't need 2, but I'm doing it anyways just because I want to make sure I have enough alginate. I have 2 amounts of water because I have 2 scoops, and then I added a little bit more water because I want it slightly runny. If it's too thick, you could actually bend these clay teeth, so we don't want to do that. So I'm going to mix it, and if I still feel it's not runny enough, I will add more water. I'm going to add a tad more water just because I still don't think it's the consistency that I like for casting clay, since clay is softer than regular teeth. And I'm pressing it into the mold like that, pressing it down like that so I can make sure that I've gotten all of the powder balls broken up. And I do this so that I can get it right on the front of the cup. Set it in here, just like that. I don't need it much in the back, I just need the front. I need to make sure that I get all the clay covered really well. And now I'm going to take these teeth and I'm going to set them in just like that. And slowly press it in. Make sure they're covered. I don't want the teeth to touch the bottom, so I'm going to make sure that they don't. I need to put some more clay up, some more alginate up front. Make sure they're covered really well. Could help if I had an assistant, but that's okay. I've done this before, so I know what I'm doing. Make sure the alginate has covered it really well. I'm going to set it down. I'm going to grab a little bit of the alginate from the back here, and I'm going to put it out front. Just because I want to make sure that I got those teeth covered really well. And now I just got to sit here till this sets up, and then I can let go of it once it starts to set a little bit. All right, the alginate is set. Now we got to pry this away gently. Remember, we don't want to scar our teeth, our clay teeth or anything, so I'm just kind of breaking it away from the fine edge here. And on the inside too, just kind of run it along the tool a little bit here so I can lift this out. And the clay usually comes out with it. Sometimes it doesn't, and that's okay. We can dig the clay out of the alginate. Slowly lift it out. And inspect your mold. Teeth aren't dented, so that means that they look good and the mold is excellent. So now we can actually pour acrylic in this. But first, we need to get these clay off of these plaster teeth. So go ahead and tear them off and take your dental tool. Usually I just like using toothpicks and wood because I don't want to scratch my plaster. So just go ahead and do this, and if you use a dental tool, be very careful. And then you take your naphtha and a tough bristle brush, and you go ahead and clean the rest of the clay off. Now I'm using Vaseline and I'm re-sealing these teeth. Because remember that acrylic's going to stick to these teeth if you don't do this. So I always try and remember to seal the teeth really well. And there's going to be some overflow of the acrylic, so we just got to really coat them well. And even a little bit on top, you never know. Now we are ready to pour acrylic. I poured some powder in here. This is shade 66. You need to find what shade fits your teeth better. There's a chart that I'm going to also show right now. It shows what acrylic looks like according to the teeth shade guides that you can purchase. I bought this one on eBay. This teeth shade guide was only like $9 or $12 or something, and that was including shipping. But if you're going to match an actor's teeth, you want to take that shade guide, go outside in the daylight or whatever they're doing, whatever lighting, and check those shades so you can match it to the shade number. Like this one is 66 right here. All right, let's get started. A little bit of acrylic goes a long way, so I always just add a little bit of acrylic first to the powder and stir it in, and just make sure that it goes in really well and makes it a nice creamy mixture, as you can see right there. It's not runny, it's creamy and kind of thick. And it does set quickly, so you want to work fast. So right now I am just going to pour these directly into those teeth holes. Make sure you don't get any bubbles. So I pour off to the side and just make sure it goes in really well. And this is a generous amount, which is important because I want to make sure that I get all that area. Now I'm going to set these teeth in nice and slow so that I avoid any air bubbles. And once you push it in all the way, it will leak out, but that's okay. And then you're going to set this, try and keep it kind of flat so that it will not run out any more, but it'll stay in those areas. So now I'm going to let this sit for about, I don't know, 30 minutes. Make sure that it's really going to work really hard. I can see some right here, so I can test it. I can, touch it with my tool when it's hard, and I can test it and make sure that it's hard. So now I'm going to let this sit. All right, let's take a look at the mold. See if we can get this out of here. If you Vaselined it, it should come out pretty easy. Here are the fangs. And those look really nice. And I even got nice backs on them too, so actually this turned out really, really good. I have to clean all the acrylic out of behind it and stuff and clean that up, but those teeth look really nice. If you're going to do multiple teeth, then this mold should be silicone. Just make a box, and just pour it. If you're going to do multiple teeth, like if you have an actor that's you're shooting for more than a couple weeks or a couple days sometimes, because these teeth are fragile, and if you don't want to keep making them, then you would make a mold. All right, the teeth look pretty good. I can see there's some little flaws, like right here. It looks like I need to do some build up. Because the fangs are thin, you might have air pockets that you just can't avoid. So we will do some patching, and I'll show you how to do that. Right now, we're going to get all the acrylic off the teeth, because as we know, it did bleed through. So just go ahead and start slowly picking off the acrylic, and then we'll get to the fangs when we've got most of the acrylic cleaned off. To get the teeth off, you want to slowly lift it, just ever so carefully. Lift it off. In the front, you're going to have to be very careful that you don't ruin your feathered edge right here. So I just kind of grab the thickest areas that I can find and just kind of pop it up a little bit. If you Vaselined, it should come off pretty well. Just be really careful as you lift it off. Alright, I got one tooth off. I can see there's a little buildup I need to do right here, but it actually came out, so I'm pretty happy about that one. Now for the next tooth. Like I say, I'm grabbing at the thickest areas I can find to lift it off. And that one turned out really good too. I do have some thin area I can see right there. And there's a little thin area right here. So I'm going to show you how to do some repairing so that we can make these teeth look really nice. And we're also going to take our Dremel tool and we're going to clean these up. Alright, we are now going to use the Dremel tool. I use two different bits. This is a more smoother one, then this is the rougher one. If you have a dental Dremel, that would be amazing, but if you have a regular Dremel tool like I do, it works just fine. We're right now just going to break down some of the bigger stuff. We're not going to really go in and fine tune it. I'll use the tip of this one to fine tune. Be real careful. Hold the tooth really well or it'll flip out. I'm going to trade out to my smoother, more finer point one so that I can get some of this closer stuff. I tried to avoid doing anything on the front of the teeth yet. I will do a little bit, but I'm really just taking down all the rough stuff and smoothing it down. That's all I'm really doing. Okay, so I've got this one pretty well smoothed out. I'm going to put it on here just to keep it safe. Fits really nice. That's a nice looking tooth. I will fine tune a little bit more and sharpen it a little bit more if I want to, which I probably will once I get them both on here. But I just wanted to show you there's a tiny little air pocket right here. So I'm going to repair that and kind of smooth it out. A little bit of bumps on it. I'm going to smooth all that out with a little bit of acrylic. I'm going to work on this tooth now with my Dremel and kind of fine tune it a little bit more. Alright, so let's go ahead and start adding some Vaseline to these teeth. Like I said, you only need to put it basically where you're going to be using acrylic. So I'm just putting it around each tooth within a tooth or so apart. Alright, now add your teeth. Like that. And now we're going to use some acrylic. Okay, I got some acrylic powder in here in this cup. And I got my jet acrylic in this glass dish here. So I am going to just slowly add it on. First of all, I'll probably just take a little bit of this activator here, the liquid, and I'm coating the teeth. And that will just kind of get all the oils off of it for me so that I can add my powder. Now to add powder, I kind of show this in my zombie teeth video where I show doing the pink acrylic onto the gums. You take a little bit of your liquid and then you touch the powder with it and it beads up onto the brush and then you add it to your tooth. Just like that, nice and simple. And it filled in those little cracks that I had. And now you let these teeth dry, and they will actually be nice and hard again. So I'm gonna let that dry now for a good, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes, just to make sure they're very well dry. And then we'll trim them again with our Dremel tool, and we'll coat them so that they're nice and shiny. All right, they have been drying for a couple hours, so we are going to try and pop them off. You just have to be super delicate because you don't want to damage those fine edges you just made. So I just kind of go to the edges and lift it up a little bit so it just kind of comes off. Beautiful. All right, so now I just need to take my Dremel and just lightly file this edge here so that it's smooth. So I'm going to go ahead and just fine tune them a little bit more. I want this curve to be a little sharper, just because, I don't know, last thought, it's just something I like. So I'm going to go ahead and do that with my Dremel. Okay, now I'm going to seal the teeth. I use this triple thick I buy at a craft store. It's used for craft products to seal the wood and things. I have used it for years. If you feel uncomfortable with this and you want to use, the stuff that they show that a lot of teeth are sealed with, that's fine. I just use this stuff. I put a small little coating on it. As you can see here, there's the R and L. I put that on the teeth with a fine tip Sharpie, just a little bit, and I just wipe over it like this. Just makes them nice and shiny and wet looking. And it's just a small amount, and I do the inside too, which seals the little R and L so they don't wear off. And then I just let these dry, and once they're dry, we can actually put them in our mouth. So these teeth are now done.